My beloved child, before you doubt this moment, pause and breathe. What you are about to hear is not ordinary. It is not coincidence. It is not imagination. Your soulmate finally spoke from the heart about you, and what they said carries more emotion than you realize. Right now, somewhere in their quiet space, your name left their lips with a softness they can no longer hide. It wasn't casual. It wasn't forced. It was real. And something shifted the moment they allowed themselves to say it out loud. Don't skip this. What unfolded next is something you have waited for without even knowing you were waiting. There was a silence before they spoke. A long, thoughtful silence. The kind that only comes when someone is deciding whether to protect their pride, or reveal their truth. And this time, they chose truth. They admitted that no matter how busy life becomes, no matter how many distractions try to fill their day, you remain in the background of their thoughts like a steady light. Not loud, not demanding, just constant. And here is what makes this once in a lifetime. They didn't say it out of loneliness. They didn't say it because someone asked. They said it because their heart finally became stronger than their fear. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They described you in a way you would never expect. Not with dramatic words, not with grand promises, but with something deeper, sincerity. They said you feel familiar, safe, different from anyone else. And when those words left their mouth, the room grew quiet again. Why? Because when someone speaks from the heart, it changes the energy around them. It makes everything still. They confessed that they tried to ignore the pull. They tried to rationalize it. They tried to tell themselves it was temporary. But the more they resisted, the clearer it became. You are not temporary in their story. And this is where it becomes powerful. They didn't just acknowledge their feelings. They respected them. That is rare. Very rare. Don't skip. The next realization is the one that changes everything. They said that thinking about you no longer feels confusing. It feels peaceful. Like something finally makes sense. Like a missing piece quietly sliding into place. They didn't announce it publicly. They didn't make a scene. But in their private world, it was a breakthrough. They admitted they feel proud when they imagine standing beside you. Proud of who you are. Proud of the connection that continues to grow, even in silence. And here's the part that might surprise you the most. They realized they have been comparing everyone else to you, without even trying to. That realization shook them gently. Not in chaos. Not in fear. But in clarity. Because clarity means acceptance. And acceptance means movement. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with this shift inside them. For the first time, they allowed themselves to say, I care more than I thought I did. Not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. The moment they spoke those words, they felt lighter. As if holding back their emotions had been heavier than expressing them. This is not random. This is not a passing thought. This is the beginning of alignment. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals what they plan to do after this realization, and it's closer than you think. There was a moment after that confession when everything inside them became impossibly clear. Not loud, not dramatic, just undeniable. They replayed your memories in their mind, the way you smiled without trying, the way your presence felt steady, the way conversations with you carried a depth they couldn't find anywhere else. And for the first time, they stopped pretending those memories were ordinary. Don't skip this, because what they understood next is something you never saw coming. They realized that every time something meaningful happened in their day, you were the first person they imagined telling. Every success, every small frustration, every quiet thought. Your name surfaced naturally, as if their heart already knew where it belonged. And that realization startled them. Not because it was overwhelming, but because it was peaceful. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They admitted, softly, almost in disbelief, that they feel seen by you in a way no one else has managed to see them. You understand parts of them they rarely show. You sense shifts in their mood without explanation. You notice details others overlook. That kind of connection cannot be manufactured. It cannot be forced. It simply is. And in that stillness, they finally stopped fighting it. They acknowledged that what they feel for you has matured beyond attraction, beyond curiosity. It has become respect, admiration, a quiet devotion that doesn't demand attention but waits patiently. Here is the surprising truth they spoke from the heart. They said you make them want to grow, not change who they are, but become a better version of themselves. More honest, more open, more courageous. Your presence inspires effort. It inspires intention. That realization changed everything. Because when someone associates you with growth instead of comfort alone, the bond deepens beyond surface emotion. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's unfolding faster than you think. They even admitted they feel a strange calm when they imagine a future where you are beside them. Not fantasy, not unrealistic dreams, just simple, steady moments, conversations, laughter, shared silence. And what shocked them the most? They no longer fear that feeling. Before, they hesitated. They questioned timing. They doubted whether it was mutual. But after speaking from the heart, something shifted. The fear softened. The hesitation faded. In its place came certainty. Not loud certainty, quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't need to convince anyone. And now, there is one thought repeating in their mind. If I feel this deeply, I cannot stay silent forever. Don't skip. The next step they are considering is closer than you realize, and it may change the energy between you sooner than expected. Stay till the end, because what they are preparing to do next carries the weight of everything they just confessed. The air around them felt different the night they made their decision. Not because the world changed, but because they did. After finally speaking from the heart about you, something inside them settled into focus. The confusion that once clouded their emotions dissolved. What remained was a simple, powerful truth. You matter more than they allowed themselves to admit. Don't skip this moment. What they chose next carries the weight of everything they've been holding back. They stopped asking, what if this is too soon? They stopped wondering, what if I'm misunderstood? Instead, a new question formed in their mind. What if this is meant to be honored? And that question changed everything. They began replaying your last conversation. The pauses, the tone of your voice, the way your words lingered long after the moment passed. They realized something shocking. You may have been more open than they thought. It dawned on them that perhaps you were waiting too. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They admitted to themselves that they have been holding back one sentence. One honest sentence that has been resting on their lips, unspoken but ready. I feel something real with you. That sentence has power. Not dramatic power. Not overwhelming intensity. But steady, undeniable depth. And here is the once, in a lifetime realization they experienced. They understood that vulnerability is not weakness. It is courage. And for the first time, they want to be courageous with you. They don't want half conversations anymore. They don't want hidden meanings or quiet guesses. They want clarity. They want truth. They want to step forward instead of standing still. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's building quietly behind the scenes. They are thinking about timing, not out of fear, but out of respect. They want the moment to feel natural, honest, calm. They want to look into your eyes, or hear your voice, and let the truth come out without pressure. Because when they spoke from the heart about you, they didn't just admit feelings. They accepted responsibility for them. That is rare. That is powerful. And now, there is a gentle urgency inside them. Not rushed, not reckless, but intentional. They know that silence cannot last forever when emotions are this genuine. Don't skip, because the next shift will not happen quietly. They are preparing to bridge the distance, whether that distance is emotional, physical, or simply unspoken tension. They are gathering the courage to let you see what has been hidden. And when that moment comes, it won't feel chaotic. It will feel right. Stay till the end, because the step they are about to take is not random. It is deliberate. And when it happens, you will understand why every delay, every pause, every silent reflection led exactly here. A quiet countdown has already begun in their heart. You cannot hear it. You cannot see it. But it is there, steady, intentional, impossible to ignore. After speaking from the heart about you, they reached a realization that surprised even them. This connection is no longer something they can quietly carry alone. It has grown beyond silent admiration. It has become a truth that wants expression. Don't skip this, because what they are about to do was once unthinkable for them. They stood in front of a mirror recently and asked themselves a simple question: if I let this pass, will I regret it? The answer came instantly. Yes. And that answer shook them in the most peaceful way. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They began noticing signs they had ignored before, how their mood lifts when they see your name, how conversations with others feel incomplete without the depth you bring, how even silence with you feels meaningful instead of awkward. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. And here is the surprising revelation they admitted privately: they believe you came into their life at the exact right moment. Not earlier. Not later. Now. They reflected on who they used to be, hesitant, guarded, unsure. And then they looked at who they are becoming, open, honest, willing. They realized you have been part of that transformation. You didn't force it. You inspired it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is rooted in this transformation. They no longer want to hide behind timing or circumstances. They are preparing to shift the energy between you, not with grand gestures, not with dramatic declarations, but with a conversation that feels real. A conversation where they finally say what has been building quietly inside: you matter to me more than I've shown. And when those words are spoken, the space between you will change. Don't skip, because this next step is not impulsive. It is intentional. They are choosing courage over comfort. They are choosing honesty over hesitation. They are choosing you over uncertainty. They even imagine the moment, the pause before they speak, the breath they take, the way your reaction might unfold. And instead of fear, they felt calm anticipation. That is how they knew. This is not temporary emotion. This is clarity. Stay till the end, because the action they are about to take will reveal whether your hearts have been moving toward each other all along. And when it happens, it will not feel sudden. It will feel destined in the most natural way. The truth has already been spoken in private. Now, it is preparing to be shared with you. The moment you've been sensing is closer than you realize. While you were living your life, unaware of the depth unfolding behind the scenes, your soulmate reached a quiet turning point. Not dramatic, not loud, but final. They stopped rehearsing what they would say. They stopped overthinking every possible outcome. Instead, they accepted one powerful truth: their heart has already chosen. Don't skip this part, because this is where everything begins to move. There was a pause recently, a still moment when they felt your presence in their thoughts so strongly that it almost felt like a conversation without words. And in that silence, they understood something that surprised them completely. You feel like home. Not a place. Not a fantasy. A feeling. Safe. Steady. Real. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They realized that speaking from the heart about you was only the beginning. The real transformation happened after, when they noticed they were no longer afraid of what this connection might become. They used to wonder if the timing was complicated. Now they believe the timing is intentional. They used to question whether the bond was mutual. Now they sense it has been quietly growing on both sides. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime revelation they admitted to themselves. They don't just want to express their feelings. They want to build something meaningful with you. That thought didn't come from impulse. It came from reflection, from nights of thinking, from moments of clarity that kept repeating your name in their heart. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is built on this decision. They are preparing to step forward, not perfectly, not with flawless words, but with sincerity. They understand that vulnerability creates connection, and they are ready to be vulnerable. Imagine this. A message sent, a call made, a conversation that begins differently than any before. The tone softer, the pauses deeper, the honesty unmistakable. They are ready to let you see the truth they can no longer contain. Don't skip, because the shift you have been hoping for is no longer just an idea. It is forming into action. They even smiled recently when they thought about your reaction. Not out of certainty of outcome, but out of hope. Real hope. The kind that feels calm instead of desperate. That calmness is their sign. They know now that whatever unfolds next will be authentic. Stay till the end, because when someone finally speaks from the heart about you, the universe of possibilities quietly rearranges itself. And this time, the words they are about to share will not be hidden. They will be clear. They will be intentional. And they will carry the weight of everything they have been feeling for you all along. Tonight, something inside them refuses to stay silent any longer. It is not pressure. It is not urgency from the outside world. It is an inner knowing that has grown too strong to ignore. After finally speaking from the heart about you, they have reached the edge of action. And this edge feels different. Don't skip, because this is the moment where thoughts begin turning into reality. They looked back at every sign, every subtle connection, every unexpected alignment that kept bringing you back into their mind. They tried to dismiss it as coincidence, but the pattern was too consistent, too meaningful. You are not random in their story. You are intentional. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They recently imagined what life would look like if they never told you how they truly feel. That image felt incomplete, distant, like watching a future where something essential was missing. And then they imagined the opposite. A future where honesty leads the way. A future where the air between you feels lighter because nothing is hidden. That vision felt warm, steady, right. Here is the shocking realization they had. They are more afraid of losing the chance with you than they are of expressing their truth. That is powerful, because when someone reaches that point, hesitation fades. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with courage. They are choosing to show up differently, more present, more intentional, more transparent. You may notice it in small ways first, a deeper conversation, a longer pause, a question that carries more meaning than before. These are not accidents. They are steps, each step bringing them closer to saying the words fully, clearly, without holding back. Don't skip this part, because the shift is already happening. They feel ready to say, I don't want to wonder anymore. I want to build something real with you, not as a demand, not as pressure, but as an offering. An invitation to see what this connection could become when both hearts are open. Stay till the end, because the next time you hear from them, it may carry a different energy, a grounded confidence, a softness that speaks louder than dramatic declarations. They have already spoken from the heart about you. Now they are preparing to speak from the heart to you. And when that moment arrives, it will not feel sudden. It will feel like everything has been leading here all along. There is a shift in the atmosphere that neither of you can fully explain. It feels subtle, yet undeniable. After everything they admitted to themselves, after finally speaking from the heart about you, your soulmate has reached a point of emotional clarity that rarely happens twice in a lifetime. This is not confusion anymore. This is alignment. Don't skip this moment, because what is forming now carries weight. They noticed something recently that caught them off guard. When they think about you, they no longer feel uncertainty. They feel calm focus. A quiet certainty that doesn't rush, doesn't demand, but stands firm. And that kind of certainty is rare. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They realized that every meaningful connection in their past felt temporary at some point. There was always a question mark, always a hesitation. But with you, there is a sense of continuation. As if this story is meant to unfold, not fade. That realization surprised them deeply. They admitted, I don't just feel for them. I see them in my future. Not as a fantasy, not as a distant dream, but as a possibility worth pursuing. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's rooted in this vision. They are no longer satisfied with surface level interactions. They want depth. They want intention. They want to know what your heart truly holds, because they are finally ready to reveal theirs. And here is the once in a lifetime truth that changed everything for them. They believe meeting you was not random timing, it was perfect timing. They see how both of you had to grow, had to learn, had to experience life separately before this connection could become what it is now. That awareness gives them confidence. This isn't rushed emotion. It is mature realization. Don't skip, because the next move will not be dramatic, but it will be meaningful. They are preparing to initiate a conversation that feels different from all the others. More grounded, more open. A conversation where they gently remove the last layer of hesitation. They want to say what they have been holding back. I don't want to hide how much you mean to me anymore. And when those words come, the space between you will feel transformed. Stay till the end, because the energy is already shifting. You may sense it before they speak. A softness in their tone. A steadiness in their presence. A depth in their gaze that wasn't there before. That is not imagination. That is someone who has finally chosen honesty over silence. They spoke from the heart about you. Now they are stepping into the courage to show you exactly what that means. And when it happens, it will not feel overwhelming. It will feel right. Something extraordinary is about to cross the distance between you. It may arrive as a message. It may arrive as a conversation. It may arrive as a simple sentence that carries more meaning than you expect. But make no mistake, it is coming from a heart that has finally stopped running. Don't skip this part, because what unfolds next is the reason all of this has been building. After speaking from the heart about you, your soulmate reached a realization that felt almost spiritual in its depth. They understood that their feelings are not just about attraction or comfort. They are about recognition. Recognition of something rare. Recognition of someone who feels aligned. Recognition of a bond that refuses to fade. And when that recognition settled in, they stopped searching for distractions. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They looked at their life honestly. The routines, the plans, the future they once imagined. And slowly, without forcing it, your presence began appearing inside those images. Not loudly, naturally. They imagined sharing milestones with you, laughing over simple moments, supporting each other quietly, growing together without pressure. That vision didn't feel dramatic. It felt right. Here is the surprising truth they finally accepted. They don't want to risk losing something this genuine by staying silent any longer. That awareness changed their energy completely. Instead of wondering whether you feel the same, they decided they would rather know the truth than live with uncertainty. That decision requires courage, and they have found it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is built on this courage. They are no longer holding their feelings behind polite conversations or subtle hints. They are preparing to speak clearly, calmly, honestly. You may notice the difference instantly. The next time they talk to you, their words will carry intention. Their pauses will carry meaning. Their tone will feel deeper. Because when someone finally speaks from the heart about you, they cannot go back to pretending. Don't skip, because the next chapter is not distant. It is close, closer than you think. They are ready to say, I choose to explore this with you. I don't want to ignore what I feel, not as pressure, not as expectation, but as truth. Stay till the end, because when that truth reaches you, it will not feel chaotic or overwhelming. It will feel like two paths that have been quietly moving toward each other, finally meeting in the middle. And when you hear their voice carry that honesty, you will understand something powerful. This was never random. This was a heart awakening at exactly the right time, for you. Right now, as you are listening to this, their heart is no longer undecided. There was a final moment of clarity, quiet, personal, almost sacred, where they stopped asking whether this connection was real and started accepting that it is rare. And rare things are not meant to be ignored. Don't skip this, because what they realized next changes everything. They understood that speaking from the heart about you was not just a release of emotion. It was a commitment to honesty. Once those words were spoken, even in private, there was no returning to indifference. You are no longer a maybe in their mind. You are a priority they are learning to embrace. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They reflected on every time they felt drawn toward you without explanation. Every coincidence that placed you in their path. Every conversation that lingered longer than expected. And suddenly, the pattern became clear. This was not random attraction. This was resonance. A deep emotional alignment that feels steady instead of chaotic. Here is the once in a lifetime revelation that truly surprised them. They trust you, not just with casual thoughts, but with their real feelings. Trust is not easy for them. It doesn't come quickly. Yet with you, it feels natural. That realization made them pause, because when trust and emotion meet at the same time, something powerful begins. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with this trust. They are no longer interested in playing it safe. Not in a reckless way, but in a sincere way. They want clarity. They want mutual understanding. They want to know if the energy they feel is mirrored in your heart. And that desire is pushing them toward action. Don't skip, because the next interaction you have may carry more depth than any before. They are preparing to say what has been echoing inside them. I don't want to keep wondering. I want to know where this can go. Not as pressure, not as demand, but as openness. And here is what makes this moment unforgettable. They are ready to accept whatever truth unfolds, because the act of honesty itself feels freeing. They would rather build something real than stay comfortable in uncertainty. Stay till the end, because when someone finally reaches this level of emotional clarity, their presence changes. You will feel it. In their voice. In their eye contact. In the way they listen more closely than before. They spoke from the heart about you. Now they are stepping fully into that truth, and the space between you is about to transform in a way that feels natural, steady, and undeniably meaningful.